Good evening. It is such an honor to be speaking to you this evening about a person that I am deeply inspired by. This is James Muriithi, who I call Jimmy, an occupational therapist who lives in Nairobi.
Good evening to you, Doc.
It's always funny when you call me doc because I'm not really a doc. But it is your name for me, and I hold it near and dear from in my heart. I have a few questions for you. I know that occupational therapy in Kenya is not a very largely known profession, and I want to know what attracted you to become an OT.
All right, thank you for having me. Um, I come from a community that for such a long time, even way before I was born, there's much stigma that surrounds children and adults who are born with special needs. And even when it comes to issues to do with mental health, people just go say maybe you need to be confined in some place because they do not have an understanding of what really needs to be done. And when it comes to children, if you are born a child, maybe you have something that is congenital malformation or such, or even cerebral palsy, the family will either excommunicate the mother or even some kill those children. So with my understanding as I grew up, I knew that there were interventions. One of those interventions was OT, and I just wanted to become one to help my people.
And when you studied to be an OT, what where did you first work?
I worked with a community organization, which was actually an initiative that was born out of the need of the community, seeing that we need to intervene, not just as a short-term remedy, but towards achieving more for the challenges that were there. But before there, I worked in a hospital setting, just within my home place where my dad is in Nyeri. And it was beautiful. And every time, the hospital setting can be so limiting because you only get to interact with people at not within their very in circumstances where they are not in their very authentic nature. But when you visit them in the communities, you get to see the struggles. You get to see what it takes to even get, maybe if it's a mom bringing a child to the clinic, what it takes, and the struggle that they have to travel through, maybe traverse across regions to get there, maybe even on a motorbike. So you get to understand some of these things that you only hear about. Yeah.
I mean, as occupational therapists, we are so deeply invested in trying to create a sense of improvement for the people that we support. And your deep desire to bring that to the local community is a large part of what inspires me. And I know that not only, as you said, pediatrics and special needs children, but also mental health. And I'm aware of a project that you started in the slums of Nairobi. Can you say a wee bit about that?
Okay. Primarily, what we've been doing is out of the need to ensure that a lot of the people who are struggling with mental health issues get interventions in as much as in much as early as possible. Like, when you talk about the young people and sometimes some of the things that they face, that they create turmoil in them, and without them knowing that it's so overwhelming, they are coping with so much, and yet they don't have someone maybe they can speak to. So we started something called we coach and mentor and shape, and that is through visiting schools So we have got very safe spaces for them where they can express issues that maybe they are not even able to talk about with other people out there. And I realized this because 2 years ago, I lost my nephew to suicide. And it was so devastating learning that he was being bullied in school. And out of that, it has even created a more drive and fueled this, that there are so many people out there struggling with things that could even be mitigated if we have the right platforms, safe spaces where they can be able to express this. Yes.
Yes. How incredible to be fueled by such personal trauma and tragedy. And this is yet another reason why you inspire me. I know that you have
Thank you.
one more project that is near and dear to you as a passion, and this is your desire to change the knowledge and the way of being around female genital mutilation, and that you have been traveling to communities across your country to speak with elders and to shift the dialogue around this practice. And speak a bit about that if you would.
Thank you. What happens here, especially among us, the Maasai and the Samburu communities, and that is one of the things that we speak about when you go even to schools, is that girls as young as 8 to 12 years, at that age, some of the families will sell them off, like, in quotes, in exchange of cows and goats. And that means that their desire to even have a hope and a future for academia is prematurely curtailed. And what happens before then is that they undergo female genital mutilation. And it's not like optional, they are forced to do that. It's done in secret. In as much as the government has tried, enacting laws and that, some of those things you realize that they are so much culturally rooted. And because of that, it's not even easy to just counter them using legislation. You have to engage the community, show them what impact, the negative impact that has. Because apart from that, the girls losing their dream to even ever become that which they hope, is that children, it was known that such girls or women who have undergone female genital mutilation have very big problems when it comes to giving birth because they are mutilated and all of that. So we've been trying to do many interventions through advocacy, involving the elders, holding what we call public barazas. It's like open forums with them, because it is from them owning this up and knowing that it's the gains that come from this are superseded by that which is the loss. There is so much distraction, there is so much turmoil, the anguish that comes with this. So we've been doing that. And from that, actually, because I wanted to understand all of the aspects in this, I went back to school and studied law. And that I know will greatly impact this, because the community, we need to look at this holistically, culturally, and the legal aspects of it, and also come down to the level of the people so that we can be able to root this out.
Wow. And when I listen to you speak about this topic, which is very evocative emotionally, there's such a groundedness in you, a deep respect for the past, the history, as well as such a strong willingness and desire to be with people in the present. And this is a very unique way of entering into this dialogue that I have not heard others speak in this way. So we wish you a deep support in all that you have in your heart. And in doing so, we at Relationship Matters would like to do something for the first time. We would like to invite you, our community, to join us in supporting Jimmy in his passion. And he has a few items on his wish list that would help him to bring his endeavors to the communities of Kenya. So, Jimmy, can you tell us some of the things that you need in order to come to communities and deliver the services in the way that you wish?
All right, thank you, Kim. In the various clinics that we've been running that are mobile in the villages, over the time, we have had the need to have extra couple of tents such that now we are able to pitch them in a place, and that is a place where we do the clinics and as well as teaching. You know, if there are any meetings that are being held, the advocacy other than doing them at the trees. So we have some needs in regard to tents. And the other thing that we have over time really desired is to have a place where we can establish practice. And because our communities are very dynamic in terms of needs, we are hoping that we can convert an old shipping container into a facility, if I would say that. So instead of that, we'll have a storage facility for all of the, therapy items. You know, if we come from a clinic someplace and we need to store them somewhere, we can do that. And apart from that, when we convert the shipping container, we'll have a canopy. So outside there, so that can be like, kind of a temporary place where we can be able to even have some of the equipment there over daytime, and just some space to even have some of the therapeutic interventions. So we are hoping that we can start with one shipping container. If we get two and create a hallway in between them, that would be nice as well. So the therapeutic interventions really need things like, therapy balls, creeping tunnels. We need delible boards. These ones, we use them when you're teaching, because some things stick better when they are seen than just heard. So we have got so many children with club foot, and we do what we call serial casting. So we use a lot of plaster of Paris. So some of these things are consumables, but basically when we are able now to set up practice, can now be able to have now better therapeutic interventions, and even, have now people know that we have some place where we are centrally located. Thank you.
One of the things that you have expressed to us is about the remoteness of the communities that you travel to. Can you tell us a bit about that?
The Maasai and the Samburu communities are very sparsely populated, and that means that they are spread over a big region. And for you to be able to get from one village to the other, you can take quite a while. Gladly now we have a vehicle, a good vehicle that we can be able to reach to many communities within a day. So we have a rota such that now we are able to say we are going to this village on this time and this other village on that other time. So because of the way they've been cultured, and culture plays such a significant role when it comes to even us thinking of the interventions. Um, there are things that at times people hold on to, thinking that they are dear to them, but they are retrogressive. And just like I have mentioned, there are things like FGM. But the good thing is the communities are very receptive to that. We need to do something. We need to be able to do interventions that will ultimately change our people. So through our interventions and also speaking to the elders, we've been able to have now more girls retained in schools, less early marriages. That is something that really does inspire us. Yes.
Jimmy, I know you're not doing this all by yourself. Who are some of the people
Mm.
who support you in your work that you're doing?
We have got community volunteers. Firstly, these are our contact persons that link us up with the communities. And we have got the local administration. So that includes the local chiefs. We also have got now my own fellow medics that are in the rehabilitation. Times we have tried there before to organize formal medical camps when we have multidisciplinary interventions. So these are the people that we are working with, and they're basically volunteers, to the great extent that when now we organize the camps, someone will say, I'll avail myself on such and such a day, we'll go to such and such a place, yeah.
From the many conversations that we've had about our planning of going into this dialogue this evening, we determined that $10,000 US would be a good beginning for this fundraising endeavor. The organization to whom people can donate is called Village of Love Africa. And your donations will go directly to the organization without any interaction through Relationship Matters. And James, can you tell us a little bit about the organization?
Our organization is community oriented because we are involved with the local communities, and we have a well laid down structure, and we have a board in place. So that helps with the decision making day to day of the organization. And that also ensures that we are also accountable, not to ourselves, but also to the people that we serve, because this is dear to us. And that is how we've been able to do this for the last 8 years now.
And are all the people in your board volunteers?
Yes, the people in our board volunteers, basically, because we have people, cutting across from different professionals. There's a doctor, we have some pastors from the church, we have elders, we have people from the local administration, like we have got teachers. So these are people that have respect and are highly regarded in the community. Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. And
Thank
we look forward to watching this unfold.
thank you so much. We're also looking forward to this.